Welcome to the Seller Roundtable e-commerce coaching and business strategies with Andy Arnott and Amy Wees.
Yeah, because you're filtering out. Oh, go ahead, Amy.
Well, can you give an example of how you would use posts to fill? Because I see what you're saying. You're saying, all right, what we're trying to do is take up space on the page with our posts because our competitors are not doing posts, right? Is that what we're trying to say here? So the more space you're taking up, the more opportunity that you have to have clicks that are leading to your listing and eventually people making that purchase. Is that what we're trying to do? Can you give an example of what you mean by filling up competitor spaces?
So I think that a seller has to understand the 4 different types of posts. So when you go down and if you scroll down on a mobile phone, you'll see related posts. This has changed. It used to be your post, and then down underneath the review section was everybody else, but now they've combined it. So that's a starting point. So if you click your brand, you go to a brand page. And that's where a lot of magic happens, because it's all your posts and you can scroll and scroll and scroll forever. And it's the message that you want to have there, cross promote features, benefits, ingredients, recipes, whatever you want. And this is something that you could drive traffic from Facebook or anywhere over to your own brand feed page, not only on mobile, but on desktop. So if you take a look now, they have a follow button. Amazon wants you to build a social media community. And it starts with that follow button. And you'll only see that follow button on a brand page. And you'll see the numbers now, 500 people following, 700 people following. So that's the first one. The second one is when you press on the image or anywhere else under the related post, okay? So if you click that, it's gonna go to a bunch of competitors. You're in there somewhere. The more engaged and the more that you put out there, the more chances that you'll see. If your competitor isn't doing it and you are, guess what? You're going to take up more space. What's beautiful about this is if you take a look at the reports, and the trick is you download the report, you get 5 more columns than if you just see it online. Most people don't do that. They just look online and they don't get the information. But you'll see a ton. When you start off, you don't see a lot of impressions. I'm only getting 50. Well, you have to do it more, because the more the impressions is when you get onto competitors. And if you're on competitors that get tons of traffic, now you're getting impressions and you're building up those impressions. So anyway, that's one of the ways that you can do it. The last one is really cool. When outside of the first one, so that's the related one, but if you hit the brand or if you hit anywhere on the image, you're going to see categories. You click the category, and they'll give you 3 categories. First of all, take note. Do you even know that you're relevant for one of those 3 categories? So maybe you didn't know that you were in this category. Now you're targeting keywords to hit that category because Amazon's saying you're relevant. I didn't know I was relevant for that. So anyways, that goes to a page where it's all category specific. So if you're doing knives, it might be a chef knife. Oh, okay, boom. Or a Damascus knife or whatever it is. Now you're getting all the posts and you can see what your competitors are posting too. So anybody that sees that it's coming up fairly quickly, it must be engaged. I mean, really an engaged post. I'm going to copy it. You can copy it. No problem with that. But that's Amazon posts. Now, the trick with Amazon posts too is you want to make it engaging. Polished images are not always the best thing to do. Just think of Instagram. You don't want somebody there with a stupid smile and saying beautiful lighting. You just want to have that person that you can trust. Somebody that's unboxing something, or or somebody in a profession. Take a knife, a chef actually using a knife and giving a recipe every Monday. You get, and that's what you can do with the influencer network too, by the way. Oh, give us your recipes. Okay, so think outside the box if you do have your category or your niche where you can get more information like a chef. You also, if there's lifestyle, like again, chefs, I know this category, send them to a culinary school. Every graduate gets one of your knives. Now they pose with the box during the graduation. You get tagged from all these students and you get just tons of free publicity. Take that. One of the best things to do, and I don't want to confuse you, but if you tag people, ask them to tag you and just put it on your insert card. Tag us for a free $100 gift certificate or a chance to win. All of a sudden, you're going to get tons of content from these people. Use an app like Repost. Take it, download it to your photos, upload it to posts, and there you go. Tons of content that you didn't have to pay for.
Yeah, Norm, I want to circle back real quick to the post and what people don't realize with the post. So Amazon was really smart with doing the post because if you guys don't know, Google about, I think it was the beginning of this year, maybe the end of last year, they rolled out, their algorithm is kind of, which everybody's doing now is AI based, right? But one of the things that they did was they really kind of kicked Amazon to the curb because they knew that Amazon was stealing a bunch of their commerce, their commerce traffic. So what the post is Amazon going, oh, we can get these sellers to post all this content to Amazon.com. It's a sub page, of course, but just like Norm walked you through those different, all it is a giant cross-selling promotion for Amazon, right? So you hit the post page or a post of, this one brand and you're scrolling down, you go, oh, there's, something related to that brand or to that item that catches your eye. But really it's a giant SEO play, just like Norm was alluding to, is, Amazon was really smart because whenever you have people don't realize whenever you have a business, any type of business where you can get end users to create content, no matter what it is. I mean, that's why social networks kind of build themselves, right? Is because all this content is being created by the end user for free. And, Amazon's not paying us to post there. So it's a really interesting play by Amazon. And also with it, putting competitors and things on your product pages is smart because they're going, oh, you don't want to buy this one? Oh, you scrolled down the page. So you're sort of interested, but you're not convinced yet. Oh, what about this thing here? This is shiny and looks kind of what you might want. What do you think? So they're, Amazon, they're no dummies here. They're definitely making a play. Same thing with the videos, right? The videos, the more content that we put up as sellers, the more that it entrenches Amazon in the Google search results. So just something I wanted to point out.
Yeah, when you build those followers too, at least on the video side, you get notifications. So, all right, you just build out that audience and you get the chance to, talk about your product. It's a really great platform.
Yeah, it's definitely really interesting play by Amazon.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was interested to ask you about, Norm, is we've talked about a lot of things here, and I love to kind of bring it all back together at the end here. So, so somebody's launching a product on Amazon. We talked about a ton of things, that people are really bad at executing, including myself and pretty much anybody. You only have so many hours in the day. So if Norm was, a newer Amazon seller, they just got their product to Amazon, it's in stock now at FBA, or they've got their fulfilled merchants listing up. What does Norm do on day 2, 3, and 4 to get that product out and noticed?
For launch?
Yeah, for launch. Yep.
Well, probably the very first thing is I would have had plenty of split testing going, making sure that the listing is properly optimized, that the listing or that the images have all been tested, that if I can put a video at the bottom, it's there, that the title, and this is kind of important, is that it's not like it was before with keyword stuffing, but you're using the keyword once and you're not using it 1,000 times in different phrases. I don't know if you've noticed, but subject matter for a lot of listings is gone, and they'll give you 5 more bullet points. But it's all over the board. No more subject matter, no more keyword phrases. So you're really stuck with that search string, which just be very selective of what you have to put there. Amazon, in my eyes, is giving short titles a lot of notice. I'm not sure if you've noticed that, but we've ranked with 50 to 80 characters, and it went really well. Maybe that's because of the mobile side, maybe that's because of the algorithm, I'm not sure. But after I get the optimization done, I want to test price point. I really want to stress price point. And then once that happens, I'm setting up the PPC. Usually I like to have a few reviews. I want to have something there. Rule of thumb would have been 10 to 15, but even if I got something there, that's when that hits with a review. I always, the Friday before, okay, I own a press release company. The Friday before, guess what goes out? A press release telling people about what's happening. I start a Facebook campaign telling people that there's going to be a special on, driving people or getting them ready for the launch. And then I'll get press releases going, content written, so it's on my site. So this is a trick, guys. I don't want to confuse this because I've got really kind of complex launches, but if you can do a blog article and you put that onto your website and you have that blog article linking back over to Amazon, just keep it like that. And maybe you have a video that you have talking about nothing fancy about your blog and you embed it. So now you're keeping people more onto the blog. Blog's 1,500 words or more. Once that's up, once it gets indexed, which doesn't take long, write a press release. Press release links to the blog article. The press release links back to your listing. When the press release goes out, you've got 400 authority sites that go. Google loves content. Amazon A10 loves content. And it says it right there that they want content. So that's one of the bigger things we'll do. So during a launch, we'll have content ready, anywhere from 1 to 8 really good, high quality blog articles. Same thing with the press releases. A lot of people aren't going to do that, so you can remove it if you want. Then we're doing a small portion, like we're doing rebates, and we're doing possibly search, find, buy. We want to get some of the keywords going to build momentum. I don't usually, like, it depends on the launch, but I try to get off of 100%. I like to do like 85 to 95% off, so I can kick those people who come in with all those fake email accounts that eat them up and they want it for free. Well, don't take my product. They're going to spend a nickel, so they don't want to do that. So I'll do some, and then I'll get the second portion, and that's the influencers. That's already working. So you get that going, and that's going along with some of this other stuff. At the very end of it, you'll get the images and the videos that you can post. So it's a longer post, or it's a longer launch period, especially if you do it the way that we were talking about with the influencers. It does take 30, 60 days, but mixing it up with proper rebates, or you can do, and I know I'm going against what I was saying before about search, find, buy, but you can do it if it's done properly. So again, it's a traffic blitz. You've got Facebook, Instagram, everything coming your way. One of the biggest tips I can give on a launch is that if you can do this, you create a product on your website. You can get it fulfilled by Amazon. Like if you're on Shopify, you can still get it fulfilled. But you have it where it's slightly different. Insert goes in, it drives them over to your website. And what it shows is a product that's on Amazon with a different product. So you can only get it on your website. The person will drop their email in there to get that shampoo with the little bottle of conditioner or whatever you want. Now you've got that. And then on the exit, you have a pop-up that comes up and goes, oh, but wait, here's a 20% discount on our Amazon listing. Then they go and they do that. It's got to be done in the next 24 hours. And now you've got that person going to Amazon who's going to, get the Amazon sale plus this one that you've done through Shopify, now you got 2 sales instead of 1.
Yeah, I love that. And I always love, I've always told people when they sell on Shopify, WooCommerce, off of Amazon, to always include a link to your Amazon product, right? I mean, and what I say is always make the deal better on your website, right? So there's that, right? So, if you buy direct on our website, it's 19 bucks. If you go to Amazon, it's 22. But if you don't quite trust me or my brand yet, here's the link. And, you have it in your Shopify or your WooCommerce listing, they click through and they buy it. With the trust of Amazon. So I love that, give your customers all the chances you can to buy. I love that as well to, to try to capture the email. The other thing that a lot of people will do, which works really well as well, is you say, hey, we're selling this on Amazon as well. Enter your email address. We'll send you a coupon, right? And you can have that coupon already set up on Amazon with, you can even use like the social media, there's different ways to set up those percentage discounts on Amazon. If you do the social media one, then anybody who has the code can use it. But then that's when you do a lower discount, right? Like 15%, 20% off, something like that. And then you capture that email, you get, their first email they get is a link, which you can do you can try to use a super URL. There's, or a search find by link, or, one of those types. There's a lot of debate out there whether that's still working or not, but you can try it. And drive the customer to Amazon, and rather than have them bounce off the website and not convert, at least you're getting that conversion through Amazon, but you're still getting the email address, which is pretty big.
And I hope I didn't complicate this. I mean, really, PPC, that middle piece, which for me, it's influencers. Okay, so we get real customers that buy real product at a slight discount. And then post. Post is so important right now. So those are really the 3 pillars of my launch that I use. But one of the other things for a bigger seller, okay, this isn't somebody new, but for us, we got on Good Morning America this week.
Awesome.
It's a little bit of exposure.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
We've been in Fast Company. We've been in, we're just applied for something in Inc. There's an entrepreneur, but Forbes, stuff like this. We've been in a lot of these, and the way that we do this is through earned media. Amazon has probably got the smallest amount of people utilizing earned media than I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know if just people haven't been exposed to it, but if I can give, Amy, if I could say to you, oh, 1 month ago, do you want to be in 2,500 gift guides?
I would probably take you up on that because that's some of the biggest searches that people do on Google. Biggest search terms are best, top, reviews, unboxings. So being able to get on some of those blogs that regularly review those things and be recognized there, I would 100% take you up on that. In fact, the recent promotion that we did, that's exactly what happened. Is they put us in a bunch of gift guides and that kind of stuff. And this past weekend was our biggest sales day ever. It was just insane, and it happened almost overnight because where they published us were really high rated websites. So it was just like, we were supposed to be selling through this vendor that we signed a deal with, but as a result of them publishing us in all these media sites, like, our sales on Amazon went through the roof, and we were like, whoa. I Googled the product and it was all over. It was all over Facebook. It was all over Instagram. It was everywhere. And I was like, so while we're here in Mexico, we're having our biggest sales weekend ever on Amazon. And that wasn't even the deal that we signed. It was just due to all the marketing that they did alongside it with this other thing. As a result, people who like to buy on Amazon, they went and bought the product on Amazon. It's huge.
We found there's a site called Wirecutter. You can't submit. They go and they find your product. But one of the really cool things with Wirecutter is that if you get one of their categories, so best in category, we'll see 4 times a year. I'm not kidding. 100,000 in sales extra. All of a sudden there's a spike over a week. What happened? They had a promotion. Like they just promoted for free, and there's 100,000. So over a period of the year, you might get anywhere from a couple to $400,000 extra in sales that just fell in your lap.
Yeah,
So
I love it.
the other thing with this is, just to give you an example, we've had products on Rachel Ray, not bad exposure. What was the one? Wendy Williams. So those are TV shows, but then you get the ads you talked about, Amy, about living on forever, USA Today, or if you get in Better Homes. You can't measure the ROI for that day, but over a period of forever, it adds up. And it's authority links. And that really adds up as well, especially if it links back to your website.
Yeah, and I want to we mentioned this resource before, guys, but this is a great thing is help a reporter out, right? Haro is a great place to try to get your product onto some of these websites and to get noticed by some of these bigger publications. The other thing that's kind of a trick that I do is just go on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn, and this is a little hack that I'm going to share with you guys that I've used for a long time that I've never shared before. And it seems simple when I explain it, it's going to seem simple, but then you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. If you want to get into, say, like you want to get on to CNBC, go and start friending people on CNBC. Just do the company search for CNBC, click connect to the first couple pages. You'll start getting a few friends that'll be connections. Then you do that process over again. Now this time it goes, hey, this guy's got 3 buddies at the New York Times or wherever it is hey, and they're more likely to accept your friend request. Then at some point you'll have this huge list of people at the New York Times now that you're connected with, and you shoot them a message on LinkedIn. You say, hey, I don't know, you've read and you go look at their content, find out who most closely aligns with what you're trying to do. Go read one of their articles, reach out to them on Messenger, and like Norm was saying, compliment them, say how awesome the article is, how great of a job they did, or whatever. Make sure, and it has to be sincere. You can't, people will sniff out if you're BSing them. But find a publication you like, find an article or something that relates to what you're doing, and then reach out and tell them how awesome it is, and then pitch them, and make sure that you got like a decent pitch on deck in terms of, you can't just be like, hey, I got this new product, you want to check it out? Like a one-liner, like they're going to be like, no, we're good. Hey, I've got this new product. It's super innovative. It does make it a little bit longer, get them a little interested in it, and then they'll start chatting with you. And, some of the contacts that I've made that way will reach out to me now. If they've got like an article, like on Amazon or something like that, they'll reach out and say, hey, Andy, this, we've heard this rumor. Have you seen this in your account, or are your clients experiencing this? Or, and then I can, give my 2 cents in that. And then they'll quote me in the article and link back to my website, so that's a trick that you guys really want to try. That's easy, free, and, you could possibly really get some traction that way.
Yeah. I don't know, with the Editorial Picks, have you been using them at all?
Mm-mm.
No. So
No.
we've cracked the code on that, by the way. If you need to be, and this is for anybody actually, I was trying to figure out what can I provide as something that I could give to your listeners. Anyways, the live ones. If the live ones are interested in this, we have cracked the code of HB. Well, we're a press release company and public relations, so we deal with a lot of people. It normally, again, you go to the site, is $2,000. It's free, except when you get published. Only when you get published, it costs money. I'm gonna just waive everything for you guys, and what'll happen is we'll write an article for you. You don't have to do anything. If you pay $100, now go and check this out. I mean, other people are really selling this for $1,500 or $2,000. This, because we have this. If you want this, let me know. It's $100 per month. Okay, you don't get charged anything if it doesn't get published. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. One catch is when it does get up and it does get going, we make a percentage of your sales. It's 15%, but that's only when it's up there. And getting editorial picks gives you 10 to 30% more sales. So it's out there for you guys. Andy, if you want it, Amy, if you want, I know Amy will send me something right after this. Got to do this, got to do that. But yes, Amy, we do have a couple pet niche magazines we can get you into.
I love it.
I like
All
it.
right. So Norm, where do people have to go to get that?
They can either drop you a message. It's for only the people online because I can't afford to give it away to everybody.
Gotcha.
But any of the people that are live, you can just get a hold of me at Norm at AMZ, like Amazon, AMZ.club. There's no catches. It's exactly like I said. The setup fee is completely waived. It's $100 a month. That is what I have to pay. And
all right, Norm, take a screenshot real quick with everybody in the audience, so you don't, because this is going to go on the podcast. But they're going to be like, "Yeah, I was in the audience live. I was there." And guys listening, this is why you want to join us live, 1 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays, because you're going to get things like this that the people listening after the fact aren't. So make sure that you guys do that. And thanks so much, Norm, for offering that. That's super generous of you. And we're going to wrap up because we're just about at the hour point. So Norm, you kind of let people know. I know that you've got the new podcast now, which I'll tune up on LinkedIn when I see it rolling by.
Awesome.
And you're getting some great guests on there. So let people know about the new podcast. Let them know where they can find you on the website and anything else that you want to mention.
Okay, so the podcast, which there's two. the podcast for Amazon and online sellers is called Lunch with Norm, The Rise of the Micro Brands. And you can either go to the website Lunch with Norm or just, subscribe to your favorite podcast platform. The other one that's really cool, it's just something that I wanted to do outside of e-commerce, which has gone down so many different rabbit holes. I mean, really interesting people. It's called I Know This Guy. And it's a longer podcast, but it's some really cool people. So
awesome.
Anyways, those are the two. And that's I know that, like the sign says, I know this guy.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. I don't have the time this year, but next year I'm thinking about launching a new podcast as well, not in the Amazon space, more in the entrepreneurial software space, which is what I really, that's like what the stuff that really gets my juices going. So I think that's going to be next year for me. It's finding the time and getting it launched, right? And actually with the 3 little ones, it's really hard. But yeah, I'm hoping to do that too. But that's great, Norma. I'm awesome. It's awesome to see that you're out there. Guys, this is a reminder for you too that, when we first started the podcast, we thought, it's like, it seems like such a hard thing to do, but really with the tools that are out there now and the guidance that's out there now, it's not that hard. And if you guys go really niche down into, you don't have to be an Amazon person who's been doing it for years. You can be, somebody who's, selling pocket knives, but really, is into like survival or, into knives or into, gear, whatever. I mean, just pick out something. And even if you're just posting like a, 5 minutes a day with some kind of tip, or, you can't sell on it every day. That's the mistake a lot of people with podcasts make, right? They get on there and then they sell. People don't want to listen to that. They want value. And, of course, when they trust you, if you want to mention, you're doing this, you're doing that, then that's when people will go and seek you out. So you don't really have to sell, but definitely something that you guys want to, think about, especially as the years go on. You don't want to be one of those people who are like, podcasts, oh yeah, I heard, Bitcoin, oh yeah, I heard about that 3 years ago. I wish I would have got into it then, right? So, just something that you guys want to think about. Remember to rate, review, subscribe on the podcast. For all you guys who email us and let us know, how much you've gotten out of it. We really appreciate that, guys. Make sure you reach out to Norm and, ask him questions. I know he's a super nice guy, and as long as it's a quick, succinct email, he'll probably be happy to answer it. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you the next time on the Seller Roundtable.
See everybody later.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for live Q&A and bonus content after the recording at sellerroundtable.com. Sponsored by the ultimate software tool for Amazon sales and growth, sellerseo.com and amazingathome.com.